The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
TBS, America's #1 independent television network, presents the following sports exclusive.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And check out every episode of the show at basicallysports.tumblr.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
and this is Andy, and you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Welcome aboard, everyone.
Hello.
Yo.
I was a little worried. Mike was here early, and I thought this is going to be bad because all four of us will be here, but then Zach's not on time, so the streak continues and we're in good shape.
Oh, thank God.
All right?
Dodge that bullet.
Little things, yeah. You go with what you can get these days. So, big night tonight, guys. The ITD, or the bracketing show, I guess. What are we calling it? We're going to put everybody in their proper place and
Yes.
bracket and see where it goes.
I'm trying to find a 32 team bracket, like, where the rankings go. Because that's a little tricky, and we'll just fill it out, dynamically here as we go along. But anyway, yes, tonight is the selection night. I have a random generator thing. I don't really know how it's going to work, but we can basically just go down the line and see how it goes. But it'll at least give us our rankings, and then we can fill out the bracket from there.
Yeah, we've got polygamist vasectomy baboon seems to be an early favorite in this.
Well, I mean, you can't blame him. It really did break my heart to read that he was captured shortly thereafter. He didn't make it far,
which
is terrible. But alas.
My dream of him living off the grid on the slab city out in Arizona, wherever, with his two wives, never came to fruition. But I didn't realize he was in Australia either. He could just lived in the outback, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of the good news stories from this year came from Australia. I don't know if I should be surprised by that or if that's to be expected.
Isn't Australia kind of the Florida of the world? Kind of in some respects. I mean, it's a great place. Don't get me wrong, but
They're basically British rednecks.
Yeah. So up here is Zach, and we're all on board now.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Zach, keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah, that's what happens when I try to get on exactly at the right time, and then there's slight little technology snafus, but we're here now.
Story of our lives on this show.
We are here now.
So,
sorry if I'm completely distracted. I'm trying to get this thing right so we can preview some matchups tonight, but it's hard to find. It's easy to find a 64 team bracket.
Well, let's just make fun of the Jets. Well,
as I'm watching the football games, I'm tweeting about them, right? And somebody responded to my thing about I just tweeted like, "Oh, the Jets! Oh, the New York Football Jets! How does this keep happening to you?" And somebody replied to it and said, "If I told you the exact same situation as what happened on Sunday and didn't tell you what teams were involved, would the Jets not be the team that you would have guessed this happened to?"
Either the Jets or the Falcons.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Greg and Mike, you saw. I was texting in the group thing. And it's like 30 seconds left, right? And the Jets are up. And I'm like, my God, they might just win this stupid football game.
Well, alas.
Then it's I might have spoken too soon somehow.
And then with a 4-point lead, and the Raiders on like the 45 or whatever it was, they played cover 0.
They played cover 0, yeah.
Yeah, just let the fastest guy on the team run down the field.
Run right past your cornerback. I mean, he had 5 yards on him easy.
It was so fuck.
Well, and it's not like the Raiders were like disguising what they were doing because they ran the same fucking play like two plays in a row.
Yeah,
they just fucking deep, and it's like, what do you think you're doing?
Which, I mean, it's one of those things where, they fired Greg Williams, and it's like, yeah, that play call was a fireable offense, but at the same time,
It's great.
this is a Band-Aid fire. Like, no, this is not going to fix the problems.
All right, I got to throw this in because I heard Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal talking about it today. Do you guys think for a second they may have done that on purpose?
I saw that, but it's like, no, because these guys don't go out and do that on purpose.
I'd have to agree.
They don't. Like, it's something that the GM is probably like, oh, thank God. And Jets fans are probably like, oh, thank God we can still go get Trevor Lawrence. But it's also like, these guys are all competitors. They all get paid to play. None of these guys want to lose. None of these coaches want to lose. Like, you think Greg Williams would have drew up that play if he knew he was getting fired, by night's end? No.
Anybody else, I would say no. But that guy, I can't rule it out. I really can't.
I couldn't believe it because like I'm sitting there watching the game, like because it was on here because we get the Raider games all the time still in Southern California, and sure enough, Sam Darnold is playing decently. Then the Raiders or the Jets are up like 14-3, and I'm like, holy crap! I thought this team didn't have the accidentally win a football game in them this year, but here they are. They're playing halfway decent. And then Darnold fumbles the ball twice, and the Raiders score both times. And it's like, oh well, there's the Jets. Here they are. But then the Raiders never sprung away, and I was like, well, okay, I'm just waiting for the Raiders to dominate this thing, the Jets to go back to being the Jets. And surprising me, Sam Darnold still found another touchdown in him late, and they found the 2-point conversion, and they're up by 3, and it's like, okay. What are they going to do? Well, they hold the Raiders, and the Raiders at the punt. And it's like, oh my God, the Jets are all they have to do is run down the clock. there's like, based on the time, there's literally 10 seconds for the Raiders to do this. So I think it was the Jets then get the ball back. They go 3 and out. And they even got a gift because on the third down, the running back was running and got tackled out of bounds, but they still wound the clock.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh, he didn't give himself up on purpose. And it's like, if he goes out of bounds, he goes out of bounds. You should have just stopped the clock, and then the Raiders are definitely going to win. But and it's like, the time's just going to tick down. And it's like, oh, okay. Maybe. But no.
Alas, it was not to be.
Cover 0.
It is not an easy thing to go 0-16, and the Jets are proving that old adage is true.
Cover 0.
It would have been a terrible loss for the Raiders, and you'd probably still look at the Raiders with a side eye today, just be like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And I'll give the Jets some credit. This is the type of performance today. That's the type of performance that screws up the 0-16 season.
Mm-hmm.
But
where you accidentally, win one, yeah.
Right. But this is the Jets just have that extra gene in them that just will not physically allow them to do.
These guys are worse than the 0-16 Browns, right? They got it.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, no, because the 0-16 Browns were like a fun 0-16 where they actually could have won a few of those games that they just didn't because of luck or what have you. But this this Jets team is legitimately awful at everything.
What evil voodoo sorceress did Joe Namath talk to?
to guarantee Super Bowl 3
to sell his franchise soul just to back up his guarantee of winning.
Well, you got to think about it.
He guaranteed they were going to win because he already talked to the sorceress and was like, "Nah, I got this on lock. It's fine. I'm going to win a title. I'm going to be loved forever."
Yeah, he sold his soul to the dark arts, and they said, "Okay, look, you can win this game where you're incredible underdogs, and you'll be the toast of New York for the next 50 years." But this is what's going to happen to your team, and I think he took the deal.
That's the dead animals he's always wearing is the sacrifice.
Right.
I mean, just what happened. After that game happened, my dad actually texted me, and he goes, the Jets have been so bad for so long. Why? And I just didn't have an answer.
There isn't.
Everybody likes
like legitimately. We've seen this in football plenty of times where teams mess around every once in a while, and they like fall backwards into being a halfway decent team.
Like that first Ravens Super Bowl where they won with like Trent fucking Dilfer. Like, wow.
But the Jets, like even when the Jets have put their best effort in, when it was again to say that their best effort in was Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan is kind of sad. But even look how that ended up.
Hey, that's two-time AFC Championship game participant Mark Sanchez.
Exactly.
Man is up.
They were
They beat the Patriots in the playoffs one year. Like, what the fuck?
They were minutes away from playing in Super Bowls, and then it still somehow ended up in a butt fumble. Like,
everybody likes to make fun of my Cleveland Browns, and rightfully so, for the last 20 years. But if you look, and again, we don't want to get into the whole debate of the Browns versus the other Browns and all that, but if you just take the timeline of Cleveland Browns history versus the Jets or like the Lions, the Browns don't look so bad all of a sudden.
Well, literally, if you take away the Joe Namath Super Bowl,
yeah.
If you take away
they're good. There were a couple of years there of Curtis Martin and Vinny Testaverde.
Sure, but what I'm saying is like
Wayne Sherbet, I think.
But like the Lions have had those type of teams. The Browns have had those type of teams.
Yeah.
If you take away the one thing the Jets have to hang their hat on, that Joe Namath guarantee, are they worse than the Lions? Are they worse than the well,
I would say
Browns,
I think the Lions are probably overall historically the worst because I think they've made the playoffs. Less than 5 times in the last 50 years. I'm going to just guess at that. I could probably be wrong, but it's not a lot. It's
the same Lions that my Bears just shat the bed. Oh my God! But just to give you an update on the point differential race, so the Jets rather are in a point differential race against two teams primarily for at least O and like winless teams. The 76 Buccaneers 0-14 minus 287.
Okay.
And the 2008 Detroit Lions, which were minus 249. Currently, the Jets are at minus 173, and there's still a ways to go.
See this?
They can get. I believe.
Well, but here's the problem. Like, this is a game where they should have added another 15 points to that.
Yeah.
And instead, it's only 3. Right?
But there is a chance that they could get blown out like 52-3 in their next game, so it could make up for it. Like, I don't put anything past this Jets team.
Well, the Jets firing what's his face?
Greg Williams.
Greg Williams, asshat. That seems very weird to me because there's no question that Adam Gase is going to be fired.
Adam Gase is the big problem.
All of these guys are going to be fired.
Which is what makes the Greg Williams thing so odd because it's like on one hand it's like he probably should be fired. He should be fired. Like
0-10, we could handle that. 0-11, how dare you? A bridge too far.
What this tells me, and I don't know anything, I haven't read anything, but it tells me that Greg Williams probably got into an altercation with somebody in the Jets organization. Words were said, and they decided it was best to part ways then and there, to put it lightly. I'm guessing that's more of what happened. I don't think this was some sort of sacrificial lamb thing or any sort of like Gase trying to get out ahead of the fire. I think that Greg Williams is just kind of an ass and said the wrong thing to the wrong person and got shit canned.
Yeah, because I mean it's probably something along those lines because when you're 0-11 or whatever they were going into yesterday, does it really matter at this point?
No.
What's one win going to do for you except take you out of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes probably?
And honestly,
like the Jags almost accidentally won yesterday too, which was
with Mike fucking Glennon. The Jets, however, this is what they deserve. They deserve every bit of this because of the uniforms. They deserve every ounce of suffering.
Like here's the thing. You look at it like the last 0-16 team, the Browns, and they went 0-16 in those stupid Nike uniforms.
Yes,
and now the Jets might go 0-16 in these stupid Nike uniforms. So this is just like and the Bucks never went 0-16 in their stupid Nike uniforms, but they did play some pretty bad football.
Oh yeah.
So the more bad football that gets played in stupid Nike uniform, like I hate to say it, Zach, but we really just need the Rams to go like 2-14. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're-
told you guys at the beginning of the year, like my as much as I would love it, my fear is the Rams winning a Super Bowl in these stupid things,
mhm.
and being stuck with them for much longer than they need to be.
Yeah, your boys are way too good in those uniforms right now. You got to do something about that.
I mean,
Well,
that
the
is
thing is-
that is the good thing, right? Is that like, you know, you say like the only thing the Jets have, you know, it's the Namath win. Well, like the Namath era uniforms, thankfully, are like a really good set, and so hopefully you think if they just play the shittiest fucking football, then in these current uniforms, then
Yeah,
hopefully, you know, cooler heads prevail. And
yeah, but they're fire, Mike.
are they though?
They're fire emoji, $100
It's-
bills.
It's not just that they're bad. It's that they're boring bad. They're not even funny bad like Tampa's were, or
Mhm.
funny bad like the Browns were. These are just boring bad.
Well,
I don't hate them so much. I hate them in all green. Like any of the monochrome looks are bad. The black jerseys are bad, but I think the regular look isn't terrible. I really wish they
that
would've
helmet
looked
that helmet is a fucking war crime. It's like
Well,
it's
I
literally
really-
just someone typed out Jets and put it
Right.
on.
Andy,
Now,
and I
really
forget how
wish
you
they
described it in your helmet rankings, but you had the perfect description of that helmet.
I
With-
don't even remember what I put. It just
it was something like 300. It was something like it was something like six figure. Like they spent six figures to determine that the best
Whoa.
course of action was the word Jets on a helmet.
well, yeah. I mean, it's a disgrace to whatever design firm they paid an incredible.
I
incredible
mean,
amount to.
I wouldn't say it's a disgrace to the design for them. They made out like bandits.
Yeah,
I think they really should have just, because it seemed like, at least with like the jersey itself, they were trying to lean into the New York side of their uniform and calling it like the Gotham green. Like they really wanted to be the New York Jets, not just the New York Jets. This was the perfect time to put that NY on the side of the helmet, and
Yeah.
I think that would make these a lot better. But
Well,
yeah.
anyway, it's they're a disaster, and it's
Yeah.
a shame. I've always liked the Jets, but now that they've got these bad uniforms, I can't do it anymore. And they're going to hopefully go 0-16, and that will remove the Browns from that conversation for a while. And that'll
it's
be nice.
kind of amazing that it took so long to go from the first winless team to, you know, from those Buccaneers of the 70s.
Right?
to the
What was it,
Lions.
76 to 08? Yeah.
And now, like, yes, I understand that like tanking has become more of a strategy in recent years, but it's kind of amazing how many teams that we've had that are 0-16 or are on track to at least go like 1-15 all the time. Because it happens at least every year. There's a threat of a 1-15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
there
know.
were a few 1-15s after the Bucks did their thing, but yeah, we've had. Well, if you will have the 08 Lions, right? Was that the year 08?
Yeah, it was 08 and then 2016 and then potentially 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Lions 2008 jerseys were like the first time they really integrated black and the Honolulu blue. It was kind of a weird. The Lions again. I mean, I don't want to go on a massive jersey rant with Lions. They've never figured out a look, and they keep getting close. They've always been close, and there's a few that are substantially better than others. But anyway, that one was sort of the I associate it with like Joey Harrington. Is kind of that.
Well, that was the 08 season. They had the black. They had Joey Harrington, but I don't even think he finished it because I remember that was the year that Dan Orlovsky was the quarterback for a few games at least, and he ran out of the end zone.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's overall forgettable season, but yeah, the Jets are making history. And I was watching the holiday film Elf the other day, and the main kid in Elf was wearing a Wayne Chrebet or
Yeah.
however you pronounce it jersey, and I was like,
Right.
God,
Chrebet.
man, Chrebet. And I was like, man, that fucking jersey looks so good. Like that's a football jersey.
I used to
man.
have a
Yeah.
Wayne Chrebet jersey. I don't know whatever happened to it. I had one. I bought
The-
it for
the-
like $4 somewhere.
The Namath, I mean, you know, we joke about the whole Namath thing, but like that guarantee made Super Bowl III like probably the most famous football game of all time.
It's up there for sure. Yeah.
And so it's like yeah, you can laugh at the Jets, like, oh, you haven't done anything since Super Bowl III, but you know, still Super Bowl III is a big deal. It's like you
Oh,
are
100%.
it's like you were one of the team. You were the team that won one of like the great pop
Everybody
culture
still
football
there?
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here.
Okay, that Mike's thing did this weird thing. All right, I don't know. Vinny,
Okay. So like, yeah, you're the Jets. You won a football game that is one of like the pop culture football games, and you have like classic uniforms. Like, why wouldn't you just wear that all the time? Like, it boggles my mind.
Well,
Well,
as,
you know,
as
they
we
went-
remember, they tried to, but Nike for some reason couldn't get one shade of green on the damn.
Yeah, Nike, you know, with their space age fabrics had trouble with green. So.
Well, keep in mind too, guys, and then we'll move on from the uniform thing. But the Jets switched from the classic name at the era to the green helmet, kind of a variation of what they're wearing now, but a much better one.
Well, the New York Stack Exchange.
Yeah, like the Mark Gastineau, those guys era Jets.
I
It
never
wasn't a-
liked that look.
It wasn't
Like
a
that
terrible look, but if you know, but the point I'm going to make is they went to those, which weren't nearly as bad as these, and guess what? Ended up going back to what the Joe Namath look again.
And they will. They'll will again. We all
Yeah,
know it.
yeah.
And
Well,
Chaos
I-
Flash, listen, man, Elf is a fine film. It's okay. It's a good Christmas
You know,
movie.
Elf is a fine film.
It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. Nobody's saying it's a wonderful life. It's just it's an enjoyable little film.
I don't know. Like I said this on the boards when the Jets unveiled the current uniforms. Like in 5 to 10 years, we're gonna get. Like they're gonna go back to the Namath era look, but they're gonna have stupid custom numbers with like stupid little jet tails on them,
Yep.
and we're all gonna just be like, good enough. Like,
It'll be that restoring sanity kind of move that a lot of teams have been doing.
well, no, it's like
you know,
it's like
does
when
Nike do
the
this on purpose?
pardon.
Does Nike do this on purpose?
Well, that was something that people were asking about, right? Because like when the Falcons and the Rams unveiled their abominations, and people were joking, it's like, oh, we'll see you all in 5 years for the Rams Falcons redesign thread. But it got people thinking, like, is this like on purpose? Is Nike doing this like planned obsolescence? Like,
Well, you
here,
can, right? They make you buy a whole bunch of new
Mhm.
merch because it's new, and then when they make the thing that you really want, they're going to sell double that
yeah.
because everybody was waiting for the right jersey.
It's kind of like the conspiracy theory. Like, did Coke, you know, do new Coke on purpose to get everyone really hyped for the classic
Coke.
Coke? Yeah.
I can
And,
probably say, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
And so no, it's one of those things that's like, I don't know if that is what happened or not, but it's certainly how it like turned out. You know, that's how it turned out. So I wouldn't put it past Nike if Nike gets the NFL contract and they look at the rule book, right? And it's like you have to wait 5 years between uniform changes, and they go, 5 years, huh? That's not a bad product life cycle. So we'll just put a bunch. We'll just put teams in bullshit. You know, people will buy it, and then after 5 years, we'll just roll out what everyone wanted all along, and they'll buy that too.
I can proudly say that through the entire 5 years of those horrible Browns uniforms, I never bought a single thing except a hat that said Cleveland Browns on it. I was none of that shit, none of it.
Like I've told you guys, I'm very selective with my Rams merch. I will only get things that have the Ram head logo on it. I'm not going to buy a jersey. Like even though it's like, oh, maybe I'm warming up to the bone. It's like, no, I still can't do it. So I have the hat, and I found a polo shirt, a couple polo shirts with the Ram head on it. That's it. That's all they're getting from it.
Speaking of terrible taste, Muppet Christmas Carol is a piece of shit.
How
And-
dare no?
What?
No. Andy,
No,
because
no.
that was the next thing I was going to jump on. I was going to say, hey, to support Chaos Blast in the chat, I was going to say Muppet Christmas Carol, my favorite. It's my favorite version of the Christmas Carol. How
No,
dare
no,
you.
like to
There's no-
to-
there's no rat selling
to this day, when I read or think of Christmas Carol, I think of Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yes.
It is the definitive.
Michael Caine as Scrooge, great.
Yes, exactly.
Gonzo is a great narrator. a very decent Bob Cratchit. And I think of the songs all the time.
The songs are trash. The songs are
No.
awful.
How dare you?
Listen.
It's Christmas in the air.
The only reason people like Muppet Christmas Carols because they watched it a bunch when they were kids and they can't see through the nostalgia glasses that it's a
Because
piece of
it's
shit.
good.
No, Muppet Treasure Island is like a masterpiece
Yes,
compared to
Also great.
well, no, that's objectively wrong. But
What?
the Muppet Christmas Carol sucks. I wanted to like it. I've tried numerous times. I just can't do it. It sucks.
Why is your heart just a black piece of coal?
Save a hubbub to you, sir.
God damn it! How can you not love this show? We went literally from the New York Jets to this, and it took no time, no transitions, no nothing. Here we are.
Oh, God.
I don't know how you cannot love that.
Well, I mean, I was gonna make like a Scrooge analogy for the Jets, but the Jets aren't malicious. It's just dumb, just stupidity.
All right, I'm fine with talking about the Muppets movies. I just thought it was hilarious.
Okay, so I actually had to give, when I was in university, I had to give a presentation actually on Treasure Island, the themes of Treasure Island, like the book, and for all of my pictures in the slideshow, I specifically used Muppet Treasure Island,
Which is awesome.
No,
I love Muppet Treasure.
and so when you say it's not really good, I need to ask.
Well, I mean, again, I will absolutely say I love the Muppets. I adore Muppet Treasure Island, but Muppet Christmas Carol to me is just shit. And I have a lot of opinions about Christmas movies, and Christmas Carol, Muppet Christmas Carol in particular, just was such a, not just a disappointment. It was such a, like, it offended my senses because I was. Go ahead. No. It's all the same. I'm just pissed off about this movie. It's not good.
Well, I'm going to ask a question here, okay?
Right. Sure.
About Christmas movies. And if you give the wrong answer, I'm fucking muting you for the rest of the show. All right.
Very well. All right.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
See you, Mike. All right. Next.
It is a movie set at Christmas time.
All right, Zach. We'll allow that. I'll bring Mike back in. See, I told you, Mike. Don't
Greg, what the? No.
All right, fine.
Mike,
You don't. I just saw Die Hard in the theaters. All right.
Did you hear what Zach said?
I did. Yes.
Okay, that Zach has the correct definition.
No. I am gonna argue this point. I was in theaters yesterday watching Die Hard, and you want to know what?
Listen to this guy and his Florida COVID restrictions over here.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's no, like the governor actually passed a law that says that businesses can't have restrictions. So it's just fucking.
That doesn't mean you got to go out and do it.
You know, I wanted to get out of the house. All right.
He didn't do a mandate where he's like, "Look, we're not going to have any mandates." And oh, by the way, the mandate I do have is you have to go to the movie theater.
No, I wanted to get out of the house. I wore a mask. I had alcohol spray on me. All right, so everyone get off. The point is, the movie theaters brought back Die Hard in December for a reason, Greg.
No, I'm sorry.
Because the Die Hard is a Christmas movie thing is a meme.
They play the soundtrack includes "Ode to Joy."
Yeah, okay. It includes a couple different Christmas songs, but that's not the point.
Well,
Hans Gruber, there's nothing Christmassy about Hans Gruber taking over a building.
It takes place during Christmas, Greg. There's Christmas decorations the entire movie.
If we're going to use that logic, then we have to say that Lethal Weapon is also a Christmas movie.
Well, here's the thing. Hold on. No, I can tell you. I was reading about this the other day because I am a person. I despise that people watch Die Hard during Christmas.
Right.
I do not consider.
Fuck you, then.
Hold on, God damn it. Let me finish my point. So I was reading a story of an argument between a father and a son, who the father believes that Die Hard is a Christmas movie and the son does not.
Mm-hmm.
And they were watching Lethal Weapon, and the son observed that you could take Christmas completely out of the equation of Lethal Weapon, and the story would not be changed. However, with Die Hard, the movie could not take place without Christmas being the context.
Yeah, exactly, because it takes place during a Christmas party, right?
Right. Exactly. That's why. Hold on. That's why the Hans Gruber and his criminals were there, because it was a staff party and the building was emptier. And like this story could not take place unless it had a holiday setting. It didn't have to be Christmas, but Christmas would make the most sense. and that was the whole reason that Bruce Willis's character was in town. I mean, again, I'm not defending Die Hard.
He was visiting his estranged wife, his family during Christmas. He doesn't. He's not going into L.A. in April for Easter. All right, but so.
Well, here's the thing. So with Die Hard,
is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie, Mike?
It's a shitty Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie.
It is absolutely not a Christmas. So I mean, listen, it is not a Christmas movie. I wouldn't put it in my top. Like if I was forced by law to call it a Christmas movie, Die Hard, it wouldn't be in my top like 50.
It is a movie that takes place in and around Christmas.
All right, I'm gonna put it to the chat.
Oh, the listeners don't know anything.
Wait. I agree. I said the same thing last week, so never mind.
Last week you shit on the people for the
No, see, what you're hearing is Greg wants all the legal votes counted and all the illegal votes.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm going for here. I'm just using whatever weapons at my disposal at this point. I will use them however I feel necessary. That's
right.
Comes to the territory being one of the hosts, I guess. No, I just wanted to throw that in because I get the idea that you can see it as a Christmas movie, but I don't see it that way.
Also, you want to know what? Alan Rickman worked too hard on that movie for it not to be a Christmas movie. The man is a goddamn legend. If the man is a goddamn acting legend, even if the only movie he ever did was that one movie. Like,
just because Alan Rickman worked really hard doesn't make it a Christmas movie. No.
I mean, like, I thought Daniel
Day-Lewis. My real problem with this thing, I am almost so staunchly against the Die Hard as a Christmas movie argument now, only because I hate having the Die Hard as a Christmas movie argument every fucking year because people think that it's like some new like thought that they had. It's like, yeah, okay, it takes place at Christmas. They're like, no, it's a Christmas movie. It's like, all right, guy, like it's a movie around Christmas. But like people want to make it such a thing.
Here's my thing.
I'm not railing against it being a thing.
Let me put it out like this, all right?
If that makes sense.
Would you be willing to watch Die Hard in July?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
now would you watch It's a Wonderful Life in July?
No. I don't watch A Wonderful Life anyway, so.
All right, so you have no heart either. But the point being,
like, would you watch Muppet Christmas Carol in July?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Okay, there you go. Argument settled.
But that's okay. But okay, here's my explanation. It has nothing to do with Christmas. It has to do with the fact that it's in LA, so it's sunny, so it still fits in July. Whereas Muppet Christmas Carol, it's snowing, so that wouldn't make sense in July.
Okay, but there's still Christmas decorations.
And that does kind of make it weird for July. I won't lie, but I can move past it.
Because the Christmas part isn't the important part of the movie.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen if it's not Christmas.
I mean,
the
like,
plot.
I forgive a lot of people who staunchly defend Die Hard as a Christmas movie because usually their significant others or people in their family are watching. Christmas movies are sappy. There's a lot of like romance and sort of like heartfelt, like soul searching, deep stuff. And, a lot of like more like emotional type things, especially if your significant other, or your mom or whoever binge watches Hallmark Christmas movies, stuff like that, to where it's a nice change of pace to be like, I just want to watch some dudes get shot, swear, and blow shit up and just like a good action movie. I respect that. I appreciate that. But to sit here and tell me with a straight face that like It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, a Christmas Vacation are somehow below Die Hard it's just offensive.
I'm not saying they're below Die Hard.
No. I wasn't talking. I wasn't speaking directly. I'm just talking tangentially in my life. People I've experienced in life who basically sit there and say, Die Hard's the only Christmas movie I'll watch that shit 10 times before I watch It's a Wonderful Life.
I mean, I don't get that attitude, especially when you consider that, once the calendar turns to December 1st, all of these movies are going to be playing on nonstop on repeat across every cable channel. Yeah. So you don't even need to like draw lines in the sand. You can watch them all.
I have to ask Mike, I have to say, what is wrong with your dark, evil soul that you don't like It's a Wonderful Life?
Honestly, I have nothing against it.
Oh,
okay. It's old and cheesy.
I honestly have nothing against it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, it's one of those things where I've never seen it, and I haven't
Wait a minute.
I haven't actively avoided it. I haven't actively avoided it. I just have never seen it. I've just never really had an opportunity to see it. And then like the few times I think about it, where it's like, oh, maybe I should see that. Like I kind of have the reaction Zach just said, where I'm like, it's this old cheesy black and white movie. I don't.
Now, let me ask you this: do people get aggravated when you tell them you've never seen it?
Some people.
I'm
some
going
people.
somewhere with this.
Some people do. Some people don't.
Okay, because I'm the same. A Christmas Story. I've never seen it. Never seen it. See, here we go.
I'm
the
not.
reason-
It's
The
not.
reason
I'm not
I've never seen it is that because it bugs the shit out of people that I've never seen it.
So I saw A Christmas Story front to back for the very first time last year.
I refuse to watch it because there are people in my family. It drives them fucking nuts that I won't watch that movie.
I watched I watched A Christmas Story for the first time last year, and I gotta say, yeah, good time. It was fun.
People even say to me like, "When it's based in Cleveland," it's like why do I give a shit about that? What do I care?
The thing that I'm pissed off about is that there's no movie about the story of Hanukkah. That angers me.
There is. There's
What?
8 Crazy Nights.
That movie, 1, is trash, and 2 isn't actually about the story of Hanukkah. So,
The Hanukkah has 8 nights.
no, I'm talking about the Maccabees. I want a story about the Maccabees. Come on.
Why isn't there a good Hanukkah movie? There should be.
So wait a minute. I just want to clarify something. So Zach, you
Looking.
didn't like It's a Wonderful Life because it's old and cheesy. Yet you'll die on the hill for a 1992
Yes.
Muppet movie where they sing "Love Is Gone" and "Bless Us All" and "Room in Your Heart." Like
Yes.
hypocrite, sir.
No,
That is-
no. The Muppets find ways into your heart, and just this old. It's like I don't know. It's like okay. I equate it to when people are like, "Oh, Citizen Kane is the pinnacle of film," and it's like you watch it, it's like,
No, it's not.
I
well,
can't
it
believe you're
was
doing
for the time, and it's set up like with it. There is no modern film like techniques and stuff like that. So it's like I watch it and I see that, but it's also like,
I've only seen Citizen Kane once, and I saw it in like the worst time in my life to see Citizen Kane. I was 13, and I don't know why, but we watched Citizen Kane in my economics elective, and when you're 13, that is not the age you want to watch Citizen Kane at, because you're just like, this is so boring.
I think
I should probably rewatch it now and just kind of like give it an honest chance.
I think you've got to be a film buff in every sense of the word to really understand what makes that movie. And I'm not, look, I don't get it either, but I think you've got to know all about like directing and shot composition and all that other stuff for it to make a bit of sense. To why
the reason Citizen Kane is on so many number ones is because of what it did for filmmaking, as far as like Greg said, lighting, cinematography, staging, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch it today, it's obviously it's interesting, I suppose, but it's old hat. But I mean, like, I can't believe it sickens me that Muppet Christmas Carol and Citizen Kane are like sharing a verbal paragraph here. It wounds me. But I get where Zach is coming from, because a lot of people say like, It's a Wonderful Life it's probably in my top 10 movies of all time, just personally.
I love it.
Because of what it means to me. I love that movie.
You have to have some sort of personal connect. Like I don't think there's ever a time where I'm going to sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to watch it, because it's just like, even if I did that, I would probably sit down and be like, oh, am I going to watch this right now? There's 100 other things that I could watch that I enjoy besides this.
I don't know. For me, I mean, it could be. It could be worse. I had a conversation with my sister just the other day, and she admitted to me something that I did not know about her, and it's made me look at her in a lesser light, to be perfectly honest. Which is that, you want to know what her favorite Christmas movie is?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Jingle All the Way.
That's
the Tim Allen one?
No,
that's the Santa Claus.
No, Jingle All the Way is the one of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
I need the Turbo Man.
My just lesson too, Mike. I gotta be honest.
And I'm like, really, like Sinbad, really?
Sinbad, yeah.
Now, Andy, if they made make it a Muppets It's a Wonderful Life, then you've got me.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Folks, anyway, I'll go ahead.
Sorry, yes, we can. It's just a circular conversation. We could revisit it before the end of the holiday season. So
I'm just going to say,
we got stuff to do.
Those of you that are new to the show, that's the basically part of basically a sports show that you just.
Now, what about the Star Wars holiday special?
Well,
Oh,
no, that's
God.
an all-time Stone Cold classic, and we all
Hey,
know.
well, it's not a Christmas movie because it's not actually Christmas. It's Life Day.
It's a Life Day movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Life Day song at the end. Come on now.
It's a great movie to watch when you're dropping acid.
Hey,
You
That's the
need
only-
acid to get through it.
That's the
Jeez.
only way I've ever watched it. It might be terrible. I don't know.
To call it a movie is quite generous. Ugh.
So I got a couple
the new Lego one is delightful.
orders
Okay.
of business here. Do you want to? Are we doing? Do you want to do the wheel later, or just get it over with?
Let's do
wanna-
let's
real
do the
quick.
wheel. Let's get it over because we got a lot of stuff to get to.
All right, then
Okay.
I got to talk about something else. Okay, so let's do the wheel. We doing spin the
Oh.
wheel, make the deal?
Yeah, spin the wheel,
All
make
right.
the deal. I'll go ahead
All
and just share it here.
By the way,
So-
I'm watching our first Monday night football game tonight, right now, as the football team tries to beat the Steelers.
The 32s, the Washingtons, as I call them.
Yeah. So
All right,
Mike.
so how'd we do last week?
So Mike's the only one still in action. He's got Bills 49ers tonight.
Okay.
But so that's still to go. But Zach picked the Bears against the Lions. He was wrong. I picked the Titans against the Browns. I was wrong. And Greg picked the Patriots. I'm sorry, he picked the Chargers over the Patriots. So he was wrong. So
Well,
it was a
we're
bad
just-
week.
Serious
Yeah.
idiots across the board here.
So,
Well,
could I pull off the lone win of the week if
You could.
okay.
Well, the 49ers have that great home field advantage in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Bills, don't fuck me, okay? God.
So this is Zach's pick for week 14. Titans, Jags.
Oh, Titans.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Like, even though they just got beat down by the Browns of all teams. Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you.
The Jaguars are the Jaguars. Derrick Henry should get like 300 yards.
Okay. Mike, you are going to be choosing between the Packers and the Lions.
Packers, yeah.
So is this going to be a week where we all lost ground, and then we're all going to be like, all right, well, this is the time to make a dent into that lead, and it's like, no, we're all just going to win.
Probably. This is for me. I'll be choosing Patriots at Rams. I will take.
That's a Thursday night game.
Yeah, I'll still take the Rams.
Pat's coming off that 45-0 shellacking they put on the Chargers yesterday.
Yeah, Chargers are kind of in a tumble right now, though.
And most of that was special teams.
All right, Greg, your game will be the Washington 32s at the 49ers.
Oh wow, there's a classic, right?
32 versus 49. What do
I'll
you got?
take the Phoenix 49ers in that one, I think.
Okay. All right. So we'll see how we do next week. So there's spin the wheel, make the deal for this week.
That famed Arizona gold rush.
Right.
So I've got the bracket ready, by the way, of how it should be laid out.
Okay.
And I've got the random lottery thing here for choosing our seeds.
Greg, didn't you say you had some?
I just want to go back to the NFL for a second and point
Yep.
out something that I did not realize until Rich Eisen pointed it out today. The team with the only team with a better record than my Cleveland Browns right now, the only teams are the Kansas City Chiefs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I believe the Saints. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else looking up the Browns' asses right
But
now.
they're still terrible, right?
Who, the Browns?
Yeah.
Not after yesterday. I don't think so. That was a pretty serious ass whooping. Then don't let that final score fool you. That game was never that close ever at any point. It was a great performance by the Browns, and I'm still waiting for the trapdoor. But after 20 years, you got to kind of get used to that and just figure that. But yeah, I think they looked really good. I was really surprised. I sent out a whole bunch of stuff saying, "Is this really happening?" When it was 38-7. But my Cleveland Browns looked legit yesterday. So way to go,
There you
boys.
They'll probably get to play.
Probably the Titans again,
Yeah. Titans or Colts, probably, right?
who they have both beaten or beaten both of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Go Browns, baby.
It's the same way where like the Rams are now in first place in the NFC West, but
But with a record not as good as my Cleveland
right.
Browns.
But what I'm saying is like if the playoffs started today, the Rams would play the Buccaneers,
Wait a minute.
whereas the Seahawks, who are now the 5th seed, would play the New York Football Giants. Who they
This is
somehow
a
lost.
historical week here on Basically a Sports Show.
Hmm.
This is the first time in the history of the show, 527 episodes, that my team has ever had the best record out of all four of us.
Well, no, because you've also claimed the Packers on more occasion than one. So that's
Well,
not
yeah,
fair.
but but okay. That's the first time in 527 shows the Cleveland Browns have had a better record than everybody else's teams here. There,
Well,
that's that.
and plus the Packers that's kind of an investment. That's business.
That's business,
He's an owner. He's got-
Yeah, that's okay.
I like by the way the comparison here in the chat, the comment of going from the worst overrated book of all time, The Great Gatsby, to Go Browns.
Right.
The Great Gatsby as a narrative infuriates me, and I hate it. So
Okay, well there you go. All right, so do we have any more sports stuff we want to get to? I mean, we kind of, you know what? If you want to hear about the fucking NFL, listen to an NFL podcast. What can I tell you?
I don't think there's anything else going on. Like basketball starts in 2 weeks.
Nothing. I mean, other than the Browns kicking the shit out of the
hockey
Titans,
is starting eventually, maybe.
like in April.
No, it'll start in January. They just need to decide how much money they're going to split. Which
Yeah,
Now, are they going to do the bubble thing again, or are they going to play in
No.
arenas this time?
no, but the only the biggest change is that there's going to be a Canadian division because they can't cross the border.
Well, it's
So
kind of like the original six, sort of, in a way.
yeah, so you're going to have all 7 Canadian teams in the division playing each other, and I would assume at some point they'll be able to leak out and play the other divisions.
good. You know, we only need it'll be the real division, and then the rest of the
Well,
league.
it'll be the least best out of the division title. Otherwise, right?
You know what?
Maybe
Well,
they'll have to play the Bruins
You
in
want to know
the-
what? No, you want to know what? This is going to be the year. It's going to be the Leafs are going to get first place in the Canadian division. They're going to get like the easiest
Nah.
chance of the cup. They're going to win the cup, and then everyone's going to go, well, it doesn't really count because it was that bullshit division. It's like, go fuck yourselves. All right.
You guys are getting past Winnipeg, man. Forget it.
Shh.
Yeah, those Toronto Vancouver road trips are going to be fun.
Yeah, isn't it like 17 hours or something? Like
No.
Canada, like going across Canada is like it's like that magical thing that happens when you try to cross Texas or go north and south in Florida.
North and
It's
South
like-
in California, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's like,
no,
like
like-
Florida is 200 miles across and 7,000 miils long, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like Canada, and like in
Well,
Texas,
no, that's Ontario. Ontario goes on far
like 8,000
more
miles, right?
Ontario goes like I have driven from London, Ontario to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Ontario goes far further west than you think. Like you are driving and you were like, we have got to be in Manitoba.
Yeah.
Right now. Nope, you're still in Ontario.
Try it in Texas sometime. I swear to God, Texas. It says
Oh,
it's
it
like this many miles apart. No. It's like
takes a
16,000 miles.
full
You
2
know,
days.
Yeah.
Like I've done that where you enter in El Paso
Yeah.
and you try to get on the other side of Dallas, and it takes
It's like
takes 2 days.
It's like 14,000 miles. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it doesn't look like that on a map, but it really is. It's a time warp thing that happens. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Same with
But-
Florida. We were going to drive down from Ormond Beach to my brother's in Key West, and it's like it'll take about 7 hours. Well, like, is that 7 human hours or 7 hours on like Jupiter? Because there's a big difference here. And turned out it was Jupiter hours. But anyway, what are we going to do? The bracket now?
Yeah, we should probably do the drawing here.
Okay.
And,
Here we are.
all right. So basically, I'm just going to go down this doing the picks here because it'll just be the order, and then I'll fill in the bracket as we go, and we can kind of discuss matchups as they populate.
All
How's that
right,
work?
let's do it.
Okay, so this is all randomly generated. I've put in all the entries that we've decided on from was last Thursday's
Yeah, we
four,
hope that
four and a
you
half
listen
hour.
to the special Selection Thursday show.
All right. Well, the top overall seed of the ignominious Tournament of Disgrace is COVID-19 quackery and snake oil.
That's a good one.
That's pretty
And
good.
that's a good first seed for.
These
Yeah.
are your bleach injections, your sunshine drinks,
Blow dryer up your nose.
your aquarium filter
Right.
chemicals.
What was it? The My Pillow dude.
Oh, the My Pillow guy has had quite a week. He's hosting like this March for Trump across America, and like it's
Is he supplying pillows for everyone to sleep and all that? or-
You know, he's providing bail for white supremacist domestic terrorists. He's
providing a speaking platform for racial epithets and things.
Oh,
of that
come
nature.
on now.
No, that's actually happening.
Oh, is it? Okay, well then.
So question of form here. Do you want me to do 32 next, or should I just do 1 through 32 like numerically? So Like, does that make sense? So we can see the matchups.
Well, since we're just seeding them randomly, I guess it really doesn't much matter. Like you can just go through and whatever's easiest for you, because it's gonna be completely random anyway.
Yeah, just
Okay.
do it that way. Pick 32.
Okay, so this is the lowest seed of the thing. It doesn't matter; it's all random. It is Rudy Gobert's Mike Touching.
Oh yes, the guy that ended the world as we know it.
Yes.
The thing that set off the domino of the lack of sports in our lives for several months.
So that will be the first matchup in round 1 over here, and let's go to number 16.
Have you guys seen the cover of Time Magazine, like their year end thing?
I don't even want to look at it.
It's just a big. I don't know if this is real or not, but it was just 2020 and then a big red X over it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
They hired the New York Jets firm to do that one. All right, 16 will be playing 17 over here. So 16 is Tiger King.
Ooh, that's going
to be an interesting 16 seed.
That's a monster entry
Yeah.
because it's just so much. I mean, God.
The Carol Baskin stuff alone. I mean, what a meme industry that
Carol
whole
Baskin, the dead husband thing.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about Joe Exotic's husbands.
Husbands, yeah.
The lesbian worker that got her arm bit off.
Isn't there alligator arson at some
Yeah,
point?
alligator arson. Michael Jackson's alligators that got blown up. Yeah.
Jeez.
God.
Fine
What a
pick.
gift that was. What a true gift.
Tiger King will be playing against Murder Hornets.
Ooh, big matchup there. Couple of early favorites.
Very nice. Yeah. All right, number 8 seed. Be 4 Seasons Total Landscaping.
You see, Rudy got test positive for COVID, right?
Yes.
After
right.
farting in the Michigan State Legislature. So
That's a correlation, not causation.
And so he's since been admitted to the hospital. So good Twitter joke I saw was that he was admitted to Walter Reed's Pool Supplies.
Well, they had a bunch of good takes on that, just the wrong place.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
That's-
25,
God damn it.
it'll play Tyrod Taylor's trainer. The Tyrod Taylor's punctured lung. Whichever.
Nice.
So that's a doozy.
This is I don't know, man. I mean, the GTOV is pretty good usually, but this thing's really shaping up nicely already.
Yeah, this is all courtesy of this random fantasy football draft bullshit. So, all right. So number 9, hashtag hijackings.
These are for those that weren't in depth on it. These are the things like the Proud Boys hashtag being taken over by the gay community. This is things like white supremacist hashtags being taken over by K-pop fans on the internets. Good stuff.
Hmm?
Real social justice activism at work. This year.
Okay.
Grassroots. It'll play the Chinese Duck Army.
Oh wow.
Oh, interesting.
So we could end up with Chinese Duck Army going against Tiger King potentially later on in the draft.
That'll be nice.
All right, pick number 4 overall seed is UFOs are real. No one cares.
That's another solid pick.
Yeah, Pentagon giving us those sweet UFO highlights that we're just like, yeah, fine.
Nobody even cared. It was like it didn't even make a dent.
Oh, because the world was ending.
Yeah, well, you would think that like everybody go, hey, aliens, maybe they can help. Nope, nobody even fucking cared. Hey,
Yeah.
Well, if the aliens are smart enough to get here from another, solar system, they're smart enough not to get involved in our nonsense. So
Our
not only
reaction,
that,
like,
but think of the viruses they'd bring along, right?
our reaction at that point was just not now.
Not right, exactly. Not now. We're busy.
Just come back later. We're busy.
Which, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you go, that was the plan all along. Okay, where are we at?
29, which is Lou Williams strip club run. There, you got food from a strip club, right?
Right. He left the NBA bubble to go visit some dying family member, and just while he was out, go to the strip club, get some hot wings.
Because if you're going to go out and get food, the strip club's the first place. I
that
would
was
think of.
really just one of the many wonderful aspects that was the Clippers' time in the bubble. So
The Clippers.
Oh yes, there'll be an entry in the GTOV, I'm sure.
I don't know if you're paying attention to NBA free agency at all, but the Clippers' 6th man of the year, Montrezl Harrell, He decided to sign with the Lakers. He was like, nah, screw this.
I'm
I'm gonna
out.
go with a title with LeBron.
And plus, he doesn't have to move, so that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
Pick 13 overall is the Washington football team.
Okay.
Currently on our screens.
Yeah.
Alex Smith trying to drive for the tying score.
I think
And
the
they'll-
Steelers a game here. The 32s are. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Good for them. And they'll be playing the gender reveal wildfires.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
As a resident of the place where these things have happened, like the wildfires are bad enough, but when it was like it started because of what?
It's a boy.
Well, you know, going back to the people that listen to the show, when I put gender reveal parties into the GTOV, you think it got anywhere? Fuck no. Now look where it is. You know?
Now it's reached its final form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5 hurricane names.
Yes. Again, the hurricane season was so populated that they ran through all the A through Z. Then they ran through the entire Greek alphabet once, and then they had to start over the Greek alphabet again. So
You got about halfway through it again.
yeah,
right?
climate change, good stuff.
Let's see. 28 seed is the COVID restaurant inhabitant. That was
That was a good one.
the story with that is that a man broke into a restaurant closed by COVID-19 restrictions. He stayed in the restaurant for like 4 days, eating and drinking all the food he could get before being arrested. Number 12 overall was the Mall Santa proselytizers.
Oh, wow. That's one of my
Oh,
personal
yes.
favorites. Yeah.
Now explain this one again, because I even when we were talking about it, I don't think I really grasped the concept.
They were COVID. They were going to proselytize about COVID. Like basically, when you came to see Santa Claus, he was going to tell you all the things you should do to stay safe from COVID.
Children, what would you like for Christmas? And if you
Here's
wear
some
your
hand
mask
sanitizer.
and wash your hands, you will get a pony.
Like wash your hands, wear your mask, sanitizer, the whole bit, social distance, whatever. That
By the
kind
way,
of thing.
tie game between the 32s and the Steelers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really care as long as that Gibson guy's not scoring for Washington.
They threw a touchdown to Logan Thomas. So
Okay.
not Logan
Because
Thomas. But
I'm about to pull off a huge feat in fantasy football here today. So, all right,
So-
next.
Mall Santa proselytizers will play African Hitler.
Ooh, that's a matchup right there.
Freaking Hitler.
That
So,
is
yeah.
a
guy
matchup,
in
folks.
Namibia. whose
Yeah,
name
Namibia.
is Adolf Hitler.
Well, okay, so Namibia was once a German colony, and so people there are people there who speak German, and there are German names there, and this guy happens to be named Adolf Hitler,
He's just a guy. There's nothing.
and he's just a
you know,
guy. Like he's
like a
nothing
nice dude.
nefarious about him. You look at a picture of him; he's just like benign,
Yeah, he's just plain old, like ordinary looking dude.
but he's named Adolf Hitler.
Top matchup of the other bracket is going to be Me Tubin / Zoom Goofs.
That's a pretty good number 1 seed.
Yeah. Again, for people that don't know, because this is kind of specific. Jeremy Tubin, who's a CNN contributor, a legal analyst, stuff like that. He was on a Zoom call for, I think, the New Yorker. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it was New York.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
And got caught
Jerking it.
spanking the monkey.
Which again, you'd expect more from like a New Yorker, staffer. Like, isn't that
Or
supposed-
maybe a guy that works in television and kind of knows about cameras being on. I'm just saying.
And this goes into the same category as, the people that pooped while on Zoom and didn't realize it, and
Mhm.
the people like that. Just there's a stop camera button. It's right there. Just make sure you hit it.
And they're going to play the airplane toilet liquor.
Oh,
This was,
That's a good matchup.
this was early in the pandemic too.
Yeah.
Because it was an
Coronavirus
influencer-
challenge.
Yep, influencer
Yeah.
trying to say that coronavirus ain't real. I'm going to lick this toilet to make sure I don't get it, and then, well, sure enough.
did she get it?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she
Uh-huh.
actually pulled it off. Wow, that's even more impressive.
No, she got it.
From the toilet?
Unclear if it was the toilet or not. But
No,
The
I'm just
toilet
saying.
couldn't have helped.
No, it couldn't have helped, but I mean, it's a better story if she got it
I'm
from the
sure
toilet.
if your immune system is fighting off a mouthful of toilet, that it probably doesn't. probably
COVID
doesn't have
just
enough
sneaks
energy
right
left.
in there, right?
Right.
Good Lord.
We were
What
so
a world
busy
we
fighting
live
off toilet germs that this snuck in the side door.
What's our next one, Andy?
The Mr. Peanut's death.
Yes.
So Mr. Peanut had, I guess there was a promotion where he committed suicide or he fell off a cliff or something, and they were going to Baby Yoda it with a tiny Mr. Peanut, and they threw it all away because Kobe Bryant and his daughter crashed into a hill.
Right.
So it was supposed to be a 2-part commercial where they were going to show the first part where he fell off the cliff, and then the second commercial was going to be the birth of the baby peanut. So they just cut to the birth of the baby peanut.
You know, we lost some opportunities for him for advertising for when he fell to say like he busted a nut. Anyway,
Yeah, that's one that they're gonna.
I
never get
was
back.
looking forward to the inevitable thing that happens in all comic books where Mr. Peanut, after a few years of being dead, was brought back to life.
He drank the Lazarus juice. He's actually
Exactly.
18th pick is the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
I say the number 18 is Mr. Peanut Death will play KFC's Finger Looking Good being retired.
Oh God! Before we move on, I need
Are you going to talk about the thing that was announced today, Mike?
the Lifetime movie. Yes.
Oh no.
So
Which is a GTOV possibility here.
this is
Somebody
a this is a GTOV possibility. So Lifetime original movie they're producing something called A Recipe for Seduction. It's starring Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders.
A Lifetime original mini movie presented by KFC.
Wow, really?
There you go.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh
All
my
had our
God.
secret. His just happened to be a recipe for seduction.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously satire, and
Yeah.
they're just kind of they're leaning into the Lifetime original movie kind of stuff.
And KFC's done the whole thing where, like, over the last 3 years now, that they always have like a new actor playing
Yeah.
Colonel in their ad campaigns.
Yeah, I mean they're self-aware and they're trying to it's going to be like it's like the corporate meme type stuff. So I mean, but it's all it's good promotion. Everyone's talking about it. So
Well, I got him past the finger.
Now, if
looking
only
good.
the chicken were any good.
Oh, that's hot take.
I'm a Popeyes fan, like unapologetically Popeyes all the way. KFC can go.
Oh man, KFC original recipe is pretty good, dude.
Yeah, Popeyes spicy chicken's better.
I have not had it. I'm not going to say it's not because I've never had it, so it may be.
how do you go to Popeyes? I've never been there. There's one in town. For whatever reason, I just don't go.
Okay.
7th overall seed will be the Pence Fly.
Pence.
We haven't seen our baboons anywhere, so I'm curious to see where
He's
they're going to
probably
fall.
absconded with the women again with his
This is
wife.
not even in the bracket. He's gone.
Split.
And they're going to play the South Korean sex doll fans.
Oh.
Another zesty matchup there.
Will the fly just land on the sex doll? Will the sex doll eat the fly?
Well, I mean, it's
Tune in to find out.
yeah. See if the Greg's favorite voters will decide.
Yes.
This is the 10th seed. 10th seed is Michigan Loons. So like the insane Michigan people who've
Try
various-
to
Gretchen
see.
Whitmer kidnapping people, right?
Trying to
No,
right.
kidnap
It's
the
a common-
governor.
It's a combination of the people that tried to kidnap the governor and the ones that marched up to the state house with fully loaded rifles.
well, they didn't shoot anybody, so I guess you got to give them that.
Alternatively, you could also
Yeah,
lump.
they're arrested.
You could also lump the drunk lady that Rudy Giuliani had as a witness in Michigan in
Was
there.
that
yeah.
in Michigan?
Yeah, it was
that
in Michigan.
ridiculous. I don't know where you find these people.
Excuse me, ma'am. The voter book was not off by 30,000. Did you do something weird to it?
That was off by at least 100,000. You had dead people voting. I'm drunk. All right, pick 23. So it is going to play. The Coffin Dance Cops finally make their appearance.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Yeah, the meme of 2020, the dancing cops.
Was that a 2020 meme? I guess it was.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
a COVID thing, man.
No. I meant the Coffin Dancers. They've been around for a little while.
Right, but I'm saying this is when it
Oh, yes.
hit mainstream.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right. So the next one would be 3 overall, which is there's the vasectomy baboon. Okay.
All right. There he
This
is.
is Greg's
Third
personal
overall.
pet project, the vasectomy baboon.
I think we should just call him polygamous baboon now because he's got 2 wives.
He's kind of like a harem. Yeah.
Yeah, but vasectomy baboon is more familiar to everybody, though.
It kind of tells the story.
Yeah,
And they will play the Tampa Bay Lightning Cup party.
Ooh.
Where they'll pass around a COVID riddled.
Hey,
Stanley Cup.
You just won the Stanley Cup in a hermetically sealed bubble let's take it back home into the soup that is Florida and pass the Stanley Cup around. Sounds like a good idea.
14 overall is the John Krasinski Some Good News sellout. Yeah, Zach is a little lukewarm on that. I feel like it should qualify.
I mean, it's fine. It'll depending on. I'm curious what its matchup is because I would vote this way.
Well, we're about to find out. It is do it yourself PPE. So I guess it would be absurd DIY PPE.
Yes.
Right. The paper bags, the snorkel, the underwear.
Gary says the right wing militia group needed to kidnap Jim Harbaugh. I say no to that. Absolutely not. You leave him right where he needs to be.
Leave him alone
know?
and let him coach Michigan forever.
That's right. He's not doing a thing wrong up there. He's a perfect coach for you guys. Just leave him be.
6 overall goes to the Reverse Time Universe.
Ooh,
apparently
another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Another thing that was announced and nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Time flows backwards in a certain part of Antarctica. No big deal.
And it will play the Broncos practice squad wide receiver becoming the. That's a weird matchup. I love it.
That makes perfect sense to me this year for some reason.
Because now they can go back in time and save the quarterbacks.
now they can go back in time and get.
Marty, we got to go back. We have to save Drew Lock.
No, why would you waste that on Drew Lock? No, you go all the way back. You get John Elway in his prime and bring him into the present because that's the only way you're saving the Broncos.
We'd have to find a mask big enough for his face.
Ooh, Zach sounds like a bitter Browns fan there. I like it.
Can you imagine 80s John Elway being brought into 2020?
Fuck 80s John Elway, period.
I mean, really, just fuck John Elway. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, he's a shit GM and he's apparently an asshole. So yeah, fuck him. Yeah, whatever. All right, 11th final matchup here is the Rise of the Karens. Will take on. I remember who the last seed is. Who's the last seed? Let's see. The COVID black market. The scammers and stuff.
That's a good matchup.
That's a good matchup because Karen would ask to see the manager while attending the COVID black market. So
yeah, she'd get pissed about a bad deal. Yeah, so there you go.
So there's the bracket. I'll take a screenshot of that guy, and we'll.
I'll get the Survey Monkey going, and we'll get the votes ready and see what happens with this. Who do we like in this? I got to go with. You
want me to share the bracket again? Here's so you guys.
Sure, I can see it. But yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, as much as I like the Baboons, I don't know that they're going to win. I think that that's a very. How did you put it? I got to put it back up here.
See, it's the problem is it's going against a hockey related thing, and the board might be like, "Hey, hockey! I like hockey. I'm Canadian."
See, I don't like the
I mean, it'd be the same if it was a football thing, to where it's like, people would put, I mean, first of all, the board is, it has a very Canadian / hockey flair. And so there's a lot of people who'll be like, whoa, I don't really know.
No, hold on, time out. You're not getting Luke fucking Fickley. He's an Ohio State guy. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Sorry, go ahead. Let's talk to Gary.
Okay. Gary. Oh, sorry. I was like, Greg, I don't know what I did. I'm sorry.
No.
No, so I mean, yeah, that's. I hope it survives. It's got to go at least a spot or two. I love it.
I think it'll beat the Cup Party, just because I don't know if people are as familiar. With
I don't know. I've got to go. This is the boring choice, but I really don't see it breaking any other way. Number one, COVID quackery, I think, is like...
Yeah, that's good. I think
when the president of the United States gets on TV and is like, inject bleach into yourself, like, God, that's...
It might be a little obscure. There's a lot going on. I think if I had to pick one, just because it's a little bit more focused, it was an uncontrollable entity that, was near COVID-like in its spread across the country. Tiger King is probably my number one.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing, Zach. I think that Tiger King, because first off, it's what everybody remembers from the start of this, and secondly, we know how the voters are. So yeah, it's going to be Tiger King probably.
Yeah, Tiger King. I don't know.
I think
I'm trying to look down here and see what we're looking at for maybe a final thing. My most intriguing matchup is the Washington football team going against the gender reveal Wildfires. That's a close one.
Yeah,
I feel like
Reveal Wildfire. That's a good top 4 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's going to be a genuinely difficult decision for people to make.
Oh, Chaos Blast is in on the Baboons, so that's cool. And he's from Canada, so there you go. Maybe the Baboons got a chance.
I apologize for slandering the good people of Canada and the people of the CCSLC who I moderate, and thus
you know what?
You owe me your allegiance. So.
Yeah, we've really been we've
By the way, welcome to the comments. Welcome to the complaint report center.
Yeah, all right.
That's the quality that we deal with usually.
Staring at the brackets, I think a final 4 of Tiger King.
Okay.
Gender Reveal Wildfire.
Okay.
Pence Fly. And I'll probably go. I think whoever comes out of that Karen Black Market matchup is going to be one to watch. But I do like the Vasectomy Baboons as well.
Karen's is going to be a tough one to beat, I think. It's going to be a tough out because everybody knows the Karen's. The only thing you got to worry about is it played out by now? Because it kind of is, I think. But you never know.
Yeah, it's hard to speculate because I think next week, once the results are in, we'll have part of it. We'll just have to dedicate to let Greg just chastise the voters for what a terrible thing they've done shaping this.
How dare you disgrace my baboons?
Well, the question is, did we ever land on what the male version of Karen is? Like, what's the male name equivalent of Karen?
There's a couple. There's like Craig,
I've heard
Chad, Keith.
I think Keith feels right to me for that. I don't know.
It's not bad.
Chad's already like
Chad's like
used.
a Chad bro.
Yeah, Chad and Stacy are they're the frat sorority girl things that I don't know that are around. I don't know what.
If there are any Chads or Stacys in the audience, we apologize in advance for what we're about to say. We didn't make these decisions.
Happened to you.
Yeah. We are
it's really
behind the
sucks.
Karen thing. We started all that.
No, the Karen. Yeah, and it sucks for anybody named Karen. Like it blows. Like if you'd name Karen, you're like, I'm a good person. I don't deserve this.
Yeah, go tell the PTA.
A friend of mine from back in the old days, her name is Karen, and she is nothing like any of the things that you've.
You sure about that?
Well, neither is Adolf Hitler out in Africa.
Yeah, right. Poor Adolf Hitler in Africa's got to deal with this shit.
Man, that's got to be so shitty. Because I mean, like, what if he if you told me, what if he did something great? What if under his administration they came up with like some major cure for cancer, and you in the history books, people say, well, kids will be asking like, well, Adolf Hitler is genocide, and he was an awful, one of the worst human beings ever lived. Like, well, he also cured cancer, children. So,
how about the Adolf Hitler administration comes up with a cure for COVID and ends the pandemic? And now we've got to live in a world where Adolf Hitler ended the pandemic, which I guess is, the price you pay, I suppose.
I mean, I would be grateful to this Hitler if he pulled that off. I mean, it's just a name, but it's. I hope the guy has a quiet and unassuming administration that
doesn't do anything of note.
I just kind of wonder, maybe it's not as accepted as a thing in Namibia to have a legal name change, but I would think if that was my name. And as soon as I got into what is it, 5th or 6th grade, whenever you learn about world history, it's like World War II. You're like, oh,
wait.
Well, but you said he was raised in a German kind of territory. Wouldn't they kind of gloss over some of that?
My question is this: who in their right mind, after say 1940, names their kid Adolf Hitler? Come on.
Yeah, because he was born after that, right?
Yeah.
I think we established that.
I'm not even going to give you the benefit of the doubt of the full war. It's like by 40, you knew what was going on. So at that point,
yeah, this isn't a Michael Bolton in Office Space situation where you had the name and then somebody just happened to rise to power with that same name.
No, he was no. In fact, I think I was reading an article. He said, "My father named me after Adolf Hitler."
Wow.
Which, especially if you're a black guy, why do you name your kid after the white supremacist dictator who wanted to kill all of the Untermensch? God.
So this is a graph showing the popularity of U.S. names. This one is Hitler, or I'm not Hitler, it's Adolf. So If you go all the way about 1930,
30.
and then
Yeah, see what I mean?
let's find out.
I mean, I was being generous. I gave him till 1940. So
1933 hits, and it's like,
So,
we stay away from Adolf here a little bit.
so
I
just to
remember
get
there was a guy that.
little,
Oh, go ahead, Zach.
a little more information on him. His middle name is Hitler.
yeah, it's his last name. He's got an African last name, right?
Yeah,
He's still-
UUNONA. Adolf
Still,
Hitler
somebody thought it was
Hitler.
funny or appropriate, I guess, which is even worse, to name this kid Adolf Hitler, whatever his last name is.
The Washington Post headline is "Man named Adolf Hitler Unona wins election in Namibia. Says he isn't seeking world domination."
Well, that's good to know.
Just to clear that up.
Good information, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm just saying, if I was South Africa, I'd just be looking sideways, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, oh, Mike,
Again,
don't go over there, Mike.
In a smart move on the official candidate list in Namibia, Hitler was reduced to an initial, so it was just Adolf H. Unona. So probably one reason why he got through that.
I wonder if it's, you think could it be, and I'm just spitballing here, could it be that he's actually got an African name that translates to Hitler? Is that possible?
Again, in the interview, he said that his father named him after the Nazi dictator, but probably didn't understand what Adolf Hitler stood for.
I'm guessing probably not.
Maybe
His
he
wife
likes his
calls him
paintings.
Adolf.
He likes his paintings.
Thought he was a great German artist.
Nobody liked his paintings. He got rejected from art school.
I don't know that. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you would not know that. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but
Greg,
all right.
you mentioned earlier you had something you wanted to say.
I already did. I was talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you had
Cleveland
something
Browns
like,
and the ass whooping they put on the. My irrational confidence has now shifted to my Cleveland Browns, which is in a weird place to be, but here we are. I now have the irrational confidence Cleveland Browns. I think they're actually pretty good. They looked good yesterday.
very odd time. Very odd
We'll
time.
find
to be
out. We'll
alive.
find out Monday night for sure because they play the Ravens at home. So
Yeah.
if they can that one.
Washington wins.
They're not. They haven't won yet. They're just up by 3.
Well, I'm on my iPad, so this game could have ended an hour ago. You know how that works.
I'm watching it on. It's a free preview of the game thanks to Sunday Ticket.
Well, I think I just spoiled the ending for you then. Sorry.
Well-
Oh, intercepted.
Game's not over.
It is now because Washington just intercepted and Pittsburgh has one timeout.
What the hell?
Look at that. My Browns are now going to be a game out of first.
The Pittsburgh Steelers undefeated season ends
There's the alert.
to the
Wait, what the hell?
Washington
32s.
the Washington insert name here's.
The Washingtons.
I'm literally watching the game on TV. How is it that like I'm not streaming it?
Dude, it's a direct TV.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they're always way behind. You're
like
like,
4 minutes. It's the 2 minute.
yeah.
It's the 2 minute warning.
Let's take a look
No,
live.
I'm
here.
looking
no.
I'm looking at NFL.com right now, and it
159
says
left. It's the 2 minute warning. What are you guys talking about?
I'm at the 2-minute warning too, but I'm on my iPad, dude. You know how far
Let's,
behind that is.
I'm gonna show you the Washington football team
probably-
just tweeted. This is breaking from the Washington football team of what just happened. Whoever runs their social media account, great. This is what they just tweeted.
Okay, well they might have. Well,
Somebody just went like just smash the keyboard and hit tweet. Whoever
yeah,
runs
no,
their
they
Twitter.
kicked the field goal at the 2 minute warning, and now Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back here. In a
No,
second.
they just intercepted Pittsburgh.
Are you watching like a 1997 game or something?
No,
They-
that's what I mean. With my iPad, you never know. This game could have been played 2 years ago, but no, they on my game, they just intercepted Pittsburgh, Zach. So you haven't even gotten to that yet.
Well, no, it must have happened when I wasn't looking then, because now
Okay.
we're back on break. Yeah.
Now that was John Bostic who intercepted that former
Oh, you know
Chicago
what?
Bear.
Now, here's the other thing we could talk about before we're done. The Giants pulled up an upset over the weekend. Now Washington
yeah.
pulled an upset. Now we have 2 teams in this dumb division with 5 wins.
Yep.
Our dream is dying on the vine.
Dying quickly
Yeah.
too. 'Cause I told you a couple weeks ago, I said the Giants are the best team in that division, and now they're starting to play like it.
Son of a bitch, Giants.
They can still
Like-
go 1-3 the rest of the way, though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still
we can still
possible
get a
both
6-10, which is still history, but
Well, that was the original goal.
I was tasting 5-11 and I liked it.
Just remember, boys, the original goal was 6-10. So if we
I
can
know.
look at that,
but
we'll be
right
happy.
there. Right there.
Well, I'm happy at 6-10. I'd be thrilled. And you know what? The thing too is going to be that this is going to be one of those years where they're going to win it at 6-10 or 7-9 and beat someone in the first round. Wait and see.
So the Washingtons and the Giants don't play each other again. So in theory, if they hold on, the ESPN playoff machine is up and running. Let me pull that up.
All right,
and I'll see if I can get through that quickly enough. Yes, okay. So they don't have this game in here yet. So unfortunately, Washington wins.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a terrible. I mean, it's still an objectively terrible division. It's not historically terrible. I mean, it'll
still be the worst division of all time, I think. Once
just not as disastrous as it is not meeting its full potential for.
Are we sure that because I'm on NFL.com right now and there's still a minute 54 left in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a minute 40 left. Like it's on TV right now.
Okay, so they haven't officially won yet.
No, but they're running
not yet.
the clock. The Steelers have no timeouts, and they're just running the clock.
Yeah, so I mean, the only reason I posted that is I'm watching Twitter feed and who was it? Adam Schefter basically said Washington wins, and I was like, oh damn, they won.
Well, yeah, I mean it's 3rd and 12. The Steelers are going to get the ball back unless they convert this, which you can just hike the damn ball, Alex. No, they're running the ball.
The speaking of terrible, while this game finishes out and we can have our live reactions to the 32s picking up a win. The speaking of terrible decisions coming out of the NFC East, let's talk about Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz, he's been benched for Jalen Hurts.
Is it officially going forward? Have they said?
I think that's the case. I think they officially. He was polled and Hurts came in. But I don't have it in front of me as far as whether or not it's like permanent. But last year, so he signed a 4-year deal through 2024 in 2019. He is currently being paid the 4th most in the NFL, $109.9 million guaranteed. If he's not on the roster in 2021, the Eagles will have to eat $59.2 million against their salary cap.
Ooh.
So yeah, and even if they cut him next year on the 2022 salary cap, it would cost them $24.5 million. So he's essentially immovable and in an awkward position where he's probably going to be backing up Jalen Hurts. But they'll also probably be looking at a different coach because I'm not sure whether or not this is the year that Doug Peterson gets fired. But it's definitely looking like the Eagles are spiraling downward to like an abysmal low.
Well, remember this happened to the Eagles once before when it's actually, I guess it's happened to them 3 times now that I think about it. Because you have this time with Carson Wentz. Remember Kevin Kolb?
Yeah.
Vaguely, yes.
Yep.
When they gave him a big contract because he had a great year, gave him a huge contract, and then he sucked and they traded him to Arizona so that Nick Foles could come in, and then Nick Foles had an incredible season. They paid him they won the Super Bowl, paid him a lot of money, and then he got traded, and now they're
Wentz got hurt the year that Foles won the Super Bowl. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like Foles has been there once before, and they did that then, and now they have to do it again, or they did it again with Foles. Anyway, they did it with Foles at least once before.
No, they're in trouble. I mean, that's a lot of money, and unless you could find a team that's dumb enough to take him off your hands,
there's no. I mean, they're not the only team that's like this, and there's a lot of speculation about the NFL cap being lowered next year, and I think it's going to go down by like $10 million. They were worried it was going to go down by over 20, but they I guess they said they only reduced it by 10, so it's not as dire as people thought. But I mean, this is a really ugly situation for numerous teams, but in particular, just what a weird career Wentz is having. Like where you're a top pick, you come in, you're very impressive. People are, find that he's a pro's pro at a young age, and then he gets constantly hurt, and yet they win a title around another guy, and they just keep sticking with him, and he just keeps sucking and going down and down, and now he's Mitch Trubisky. Except he's got an ironclad contract.
Yeah.
So
So
Okay, so the field goal has been made by Washington, so
Yep.
they're up 23-17 with 17 seconds left.
yeah,
Hey,
Steelers are going to get the ball back to chuck it. So as I'm doing the math here on the playoff machine, because you have two problems here. You have because I think that's the only one, right? Yeah. So the Eagles and Cowboys play each other in Week 16, and then in Week 17, Washington plays Philly and Dallas plays the Giants. So unfortunately, I think the absolute minimum we could get is if somehow the Eagles turn this around, and the Eagles somehow get to 5-10-1. Is the worst possible record. Otherwise, it's 6-11
Well, so I'm good with I'm good at 6-10. I'm fine with it.
or 6-10. Yeah.
Fine with 6-10. Absolutely, that was the goal all along.
Yeah,
Anything
but
after
I
that
was
was wrong.
I was really starting to taste 5-11.
Yeah, I know, but you got to remember where we started and where we're going to finish, and that's what we're hoping for. It's a 6-10. 5-11 is nice, but let's not get greedy. You know, and like I said too, if you get a 5-11 right away, they're going to change things. 6-10 buys us some more time to play for a 5-11. So you've got to just kind of look at the glass half full type of thing, Mike.
So the other thing that this season has showed us, like as I'm thinking about the math here, I think 5-10, maybe 4 or 5-11, 4. I don't know if 4-12 could do it. I think 5-10 or 5-11 is the legitimate worst possible record you could ever hope for a division champion.
Could be.
I don't see any other way that it could get lower than that.
It would almost be impossible.
Washington's officially win, by the way. So
They officially win. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, the 1972 Dolphins are safe again. So
Break out the champagne, you douchebags.
yeah, no shit.
Uh,
So I'm looking at the playoff picture here for the wild card. I guess the Buccaneers have the best chance of taking the NFC wild card by a significant margin, 82%.
It's the top 7 teams that are in playoff spots this year.
Oh, yeah, it's going to screw up my whole thing.
that's permanent, right? That's not just a 2020 thing. That's going
Yeah,
to be
it's permanent. That's permanent.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
Is it permanent? I thought it was just a 1-year thing.
No, I think it's a permanent deal. Pretty sure.
I'd have to look it up.
No, it's a 1-year thing. I know.
Are you
know
sure?
that. Yeah, I think it was a 1-year thing, and it would only become permanent if they ended up moving to the 18-week schedule.
Oh, okay. Well, good then. Because I'm not really crazy about the 7-team thing.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, if you're gonna do that, just make 8 teams and give no bye.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No, I can't. I don't know, man. Eight teams is pushing it. 18 is like it's already, enough when you have a wild card. There's been a fair amount of wild card teams that have either made or won a Super Bowl in the last however many years since it's been instituted.
Yeah.
I feel like that's enough like of a wild card, literally a wild card to like break things up. I really don't think there's any. It really reduces the value of the regular season, in my opinion, if you just keep on watering down the playoff picture. And I get the NFL is trying to go bigger and bigger, but man, they just leave it alone. Leave some of the stuff alone, please. Just
the NFL. Well, the NFL is an entire history of not knowing when good enough is good enough, and just taking more. Like Thursday Night Football is a prime example of that. So,
well, it's funny you bring up Thursday night because somebody it was on the one of the broadcasts I was watching yesterday. They brought up a point that I hadn't considered, but by the end of the season, because as we know, when we get past college season, they open up and start playing some Saturday NFL games, right? There will be an NFL game played this season on every day of the week except Friday by the end of the season.
Oh, don't give up on Friday just yet.
Well, don't give me ideas.
Well, but what I'm saying is, like, we've had multiple games moved to Monday already. We're having a Tuesday game tomorrow with the Ravens and Cowboys. We have the
they're
Wednesday,
still doing that thing. God damn.
Well, because they moved the Ravens Steelers game from Thanksgiving to last Wednesday. So now we've had games on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, our regular Thursdays, and then our regular Sundays, and then the post-college Saturdays. So we're at a point now where like the NFL could look at what they've done this season and say like, you know what? Maybe it's possible if we mess around with the schedule a bit, we could do a thing where we have games at all days of the week. And it's the only league that I can compare it to is the Premier League in England, where generally speaking, they schedule games. Occasionally there'll be a Friday game, but it's mostly Saturday, Sunday, and then like one or two on Monday. But as the season goes along, there's a bunch of other competitions that these teams are involved in, whether it's Champions League or domestic tournaments or things like that. And so the games get moved around. And then all of a sudden you have like a Premier League game on Tuesday or on Wednesday or on Thursday, just because they have to fit these games in somewhere on the schedule. And that's just a regular thing that they deal with over there, not because of disease like we're dealing with, but just because that's the way the schedule has always worked over there. So is there a point where like the NFL can see what they've done and, like you guys have said, don't give them any ideas? Might this give them an idea that like, hey, you know what? Maybe we could play on Wednesday nights. Maybe we could play on Tuesday nights. And, you know, teams will complain, but they'll get used to it.
I think the only problem you would be was that like it would throw the rest thing, like, you know, like Wednesdays. Right. I mean, going from like Wednesday or Thursday to Sunday, you know, like it would be tough.
Well, you couldn't do that, but that's why I'm saying they'd have to maneuver the schedule like they did this last week, where like, yes, the Ravens played on Wednesday, right, and so did the Steelers. So then the Steelers game from Sunday got moved to today, and the Ravens game got moved to Tuesday. So like it would be a lot of maneuvering, but you could end up with a situation where.
Well, I wouldn't put it past them at all. No, I think they'd absolutely, if they could find a way to do it and make it work, they'd absolutely do that.
Would that be the thing that kills football?
No.
Too much of it?
No.
Let's see. So, just to clarify the point, sorry, Mike. The Chaos Blast post about isn't there an NFL game on a Friday around Christmas time? I believe it is. I believe it's on because Christmas is on a Friday, Christmas Day. Yeah. So on the December 25th, which is a Friday, the Vikings will play the Saints.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So all 7 days.
All 7 days of the week.
I think it's a distinct possibility, Zach.
Incredible.
Yeah. If they could find a way to make it work where you could give teams a reasonable amount of rest. I don't know if the players union would go for it or not, but you know the league would be all over that shit.
And you can't do that, man. You can't keep that up. I mean,
no, I don't know how you can do it either. Because
the whole thing, I again, and maybe I'm just becoming old man yells at cloud, but like I liked it with my football on Sundays and then with the Monday matchup. It was such a nice thing. It's like you look forward to it all week. You get there. Well, you know, you got a full slate of games, and then you know Monday night kind of tops it off. And
I mean, I don't think that the possibility of everyday football is out of the question. It just won't all be NFL football.
Oh, we've already got it with college. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, we have Tuesday night action. Like that's.
I mean, we need this is look when the XFL Under the Rock really takes off, then we're gonna see some magic happen.
Well, and that stuff, but that's the thing. Like we were talking about this. In terms of like, oh, in an ideal world, this and that. But the NFL is driven by money, and what gives the money to sports? TV. The reason that there's Tuesday night action is because the TV networks allowed it. Because it was like the MAC wants publicity. They didn't want to get lost on the Saturday with everybody else.
Right.
So here you go, play on Tuesday. We'll give you money, and you'll have a day all to yourself.
And every
from
football
from the TV network's perspective, it's like, what else do we have for Tuesday night, right?
Right. Yeah. And then you've got the MAC has the attention of every single football fan that's going to tune in and watch. Now, that's not to say that all of them will, but the football freaks that will watch that over, I don't know, some stupid TV show, you've got the full attention of the whole nation at that point on Tuesday nights. So yeah, it's a win-win for everybody, I think.
Bit of trivia here for you guys. Can you guess what year was the last time that Washington beat the Steelers?
Oh, they just put it up on the screen.
1972.
In Washington or in Pittsburgh or overall?
Just period. First win against the Steelers.
93?
I'm going to go with Mike and say 72.
91.
91. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they were Super Bowl champs that year. So the Washingtons.
Yeah,
I almost,
it's
hey, did you guys catch Troy Aikman calling them their former name a couple times during the broadcast on Thanksgiving? I think it was.
The man's had like
Uh,
80 concussions. You know,
I've,
I
I've,
just thought it was funny.
he should just be. He's lucky he knows where he is. No, I didn't because I believe for that. Yes, okay, I didn't watch that game. I watched the replacements instead.
Well, anyway, he called them their former name a couple different times. I went, wait a minute.
By the way, Washington Sentinels. Let's go. That should. Let's just go all in. Keanu's a pop culture icon now.
I'm telling you, man, they're going to stick with Washington football team because then the fans can still call them their old name. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's the way it's going to be. They're going to be like the football team or the football club. They won't go with our name, the 32s, which is the best of the bunch. Way better
really
than
is.
Red Wolves or whatever. But
wow, they didn't even bother painting the field in Arizona.
Yeah, well, they put an NFL logo in the middle.
Please
No,
tell me
it
it's
still
just
says-
the Cardinals.
No, it still says Arizona in the end zone.
can somebody tell me how the fuck is the Bills defense got 10 points already in that game? It's just the first quarter.
Woot!
I don't know, a sack or something.
God damn, sacks must be worth a lot. Hey,
Interception?
Mike
I have
Walker's
no
here.
idea.
Mike, why do the Bills have 10 points already? And I'm he's in my fantasy league, so I'm asking him a direct question here.
Me?
No, the other Mike, Michael Walker on the chat.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not in
I'm
that.
gonna pull up the box score because I don't know.
The look. I just need the Bills to look. You all lost the wheel games, so I just need the Bills to pick up a win so I can get some further distance.
Well, they're not awarding the 49ers keep thinking that they scored a touchdown, but they're not giving it to them. Yeah, it just this NFL season's just been so strange.
Well, dude, the whole year's been so strange. The whole thing, you know.
Yeah,
It's
like
just and speaking of strange, thanks yesterday for just depressing the hell out of me with all those stats that you accidentally sent me from Orange County. Thanks a lot for that.
I was trying to send that to my coworkers because we're monitoring the coronavirus stats, and
Yeah.
things in Orange County didn't get better over the weekend.
It's not getting better anywhere.
Our comment sections on our Instagram pages and Facebook pages and whatever. It's just like we're so fed up with the general public shit of like, you're just trying to scare us. This is bullshit. Newscomb is terrible, and it's like, just look at the numbers, you morons. Ugh.
Well, you know, it's I don't want to be. I'm not. You know, I don't want to take a side here, but I think all we've proven at this point is that you can't stop a virus.
I mean, you
can only hope to contain it.
I mean, you can. I mean, there are parts of Australia that haven't reported a case in like 3 months. Like
these are the same
well-
people that are holding, mask burning rallies and like protesting the Trader Joe's because they wouldn't let them shop, without the mask and whatever. And it's just
Oh, good. That's good news, Michael. Sorry, go ahead, Zach.
no, just it's people are like trying to point us out as being an enemy, and it's like, guys, we're literally just trying to tell you the numbers, and it's like, well, stop trying to scare us. It's like, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm
Well,
trying to let you know that like 30 people died over the weekend.
The first mistake you're making is you're paying attention to the people in the comments. No offense to our commenters. This is a different,
No,
different type of thing.
I know.
You know,
But
I mean, it's one thing to come in and like hang out and talk to us during a podcast. The people that are commenting on newspaper articles, you don't want anything to do with anyway.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no.
Don't
I
read
mean, I wouldn't
those.
even engage those assholes. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, I try not to.
you
But
ever
if I got-
you ever want to look into the abyss?
I
Fox
know.
News
I
Fox
just-
News comment section.
It's
Oh, I can go way better. I can go way deeper than that, Mike. That's nothing.
Grade our comp so that if there's stuff that's like,
I don't know what Newsmax's comment section is. That worse?
Probably.
Well,
You
that
think,
requires
right? that OAN network. Come on now.
That would
Oh,
require
yeah.
people to be able to read, though. I feel like that's pretty low. Literacy rate is probably pretty low.
News on the new
For OANN, yeah.
And OAN, yeah.
Well, George Carlin said it best. He said, think of how stupid the average person is, and realize half of them are stupider than that. So, I mean, that's that's a good way to think about local comment sections. It's
The comment sections on anything are great. I mean, like a public forum thing like that, it's just never good. I had a guy.
Yeah.
I was watching a fucking Beatles video on YouTube the other day, right? And this guy posted, he goes, "Isn't it great when a band plays live?" I said, "They're not playing live. The song faded out at the end." And this dude has been like writing me all day, like on one fucking comment I made. And he's just all over me, like trying to pick fights with me and shit. I'm like, what is your fucking problem? I don't care. It's just, so that's the kind of shit you're dealing with, Zach. I guess is the point I'm making. It's just unbelievable.
I know. And as I keep trying to say before people keep talking over me,
oh, sorry.
It's unfortunately part of my job to read and moderate the comments. And so I get inundated with the bullshit all the time.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason Yahoo stopped allowing comments. I agree. All right.
Yeah. I have nothing else to offer tonight. We've gotten our bracket set. We will get. Are we going to start voting tonight, or whenever you get it up, or
I'll get it put together. It's going to take a little bit because it takes a while to input all the information and get all the polling and stuff set up. But we'll have it ready the next day or two.
Sounds good.
And see, if I think about it, I can't fucking say it. Ignominious Tournament of Victory. Nope.
Ignominious Tournament of Disgrace.
Disgrace will start shortly, guys. Just stay tuned. It will be there. We'll let you know on Twitter, via Facebook, and the boards and everywhere else. And once it's up, well, God help us, I guess. So we'll see what happens. Anything else, boys?
I got nothing.
Zach, say something else. We can talk over you again. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Go Rams. First place, Rams. Just to let people know.
Go Brownies.
Ram it and such.
All right.
Yeah. I hope the Bears lose out the rest of the way. Fuck the Bears.
80, because I picked the Bears on our stupid wheel. Like, they were up decently, and I was like, oh, I'm going to win a game this week. I'll just throw my feet up and relax on this one. And then I wasn't paying attention to the bottom line. And then the final score came up eventually. And I was like, what the hell just happened?
You got Bears.
Where'd
Sorry,
the Bears
man.
go?
Never pick them. They suck ass. They're a terrible
Stupid
team.
Lions inspired by their new coach.
Who is their new coach?
Caldwell or something?
No.
I'd say Romeo Crennel, but I think he's already with the Texans.
Texans coach, yeah. Darrell Bevel is their
Bevel,
coach.
right.
Okay, I've never heard of him, but good
He's
luck.
been
Bro.
a long-time coordinator. It's his first stint as a head coach now.
He'll be unemployed here in a few weeks. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, him and Greg Williams.
All right, folks, we're going to call it a night. Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Subscribe via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the Stitcher, and wherever fine podcasting is sold. We will be back next week with more stuff, and hopefully the start of the ignominious Tournament of Disgrace. Woo. Catch you next time.
Later.
Latest.
Bye.
Oh, damn it, I did it again.
No, Greg.
I wasn't ready for the close. All right, anyway, we'll see you next time, folks.